You can change your entire life by changing one habit. Subscribe to our podcast to make listening a habit.
Change your mindset, manifest your dream life, and live magically with Rise and Align.
Raising the frequency, one episode at a time.
Hello and welcome back to the Rise and Align podcast, where we talk about all things high vibrational. My name is Demi.
And I'm Haley. And today we have a very high vibe episode for you. They're always high vibe. We try to be anyways. But this is 10 things you can do to feel better right now. And this is just so important because we all know what it's like to have a bad day or to, feel anxious or stressed about something. And obviously that doesn't feel good. And we're all about finding what feels good. So these are 10 things that you can do to bring yourself back to the present moment and to bring yourself maybe back into alignment and just allow yourself to live more joyfully and happily on a daily basis. So with that being said, the first tip that we have is to listen to high vibrational content. And we've mentioned this many times throughout our podcast, but it is really important to be mindful about what you're listening to. And if you're feeling down, if you're feeling stressed, or if you're feeling any type of way, and you want to elevate your vibration, listen to things that are high vibe, because that is what you are basically programming yourself to feel. And that is going to really impact you on a subconscious level, which it can be hard to target the subconscious mind, I feel like sometimes. So that is like a direct way to help lift your spirits. And some of my, and I could even say our favorite, ways or people to listen to are Abraham Hicks. We love the Jay Shetty podcast. We obviously Rise and Align podcast. We are here to be that like high vibrational source that you can go to, but also thinking about music, like listening to music that is going to elevate your spirits and reaffirm positive messaging.
If you are looking for high vibrational music, we have 2 episodes on that, so make sure you check those out. Also, thank you for being here, because you're already taking a step in the right direction. And like we always talk about, how you feel matters more than any. How you feel is the conscious awareness of the frequency that you're vibrating at. It's what you're acting out of, and it's what you're attracting into your reality. So listening to this episode alone will help you manifest. So tip number 2 is, of course, it's meditate. I think for a long time I didn't really want to. I felt contrast around it, and I didn't understand why all of the most spiritual people in the world would say meditate, meditate, meditate. It's the answer to everything. And I thought, I can't quiet my mind. Do you hear her in here? She never shuts up. But no, actually relax, take a deep breath and find a quiet place to sit and just close your eyes and just be for a while and just allow whatever's coming up to come up. But it will kind of help you not only like clear your thoughts, but release thoughts that are not serving you and help you really center and ground back into yourself. I think meditation is such an important practice to utilize to really come back into yourself. Also, if you are to lay down and scan your body and intentionally release every muscle and relax every muscle in your body, it is actually impossible for you to feel negative emotion when your entire physical body is relaxed. So that's another wonderful way to just come back into alignment. Just allow, relax, and be.
Yes, I love that so much. And I feel like the people that are apprehensive about meditating are often people who, one, we've said it before, would benefit from it the most. But also, a lot of times people have this expectation about what meditation looks like or how it should be. And I think that prevents a lot of people from meditating because they think they won't do it right. Yes. And it's not about that at all. It's really just about creating space and being mindful of your thoughts and, maybe allowing some of those thoughts to flow through you instead of becoming a part of you. And just keep that in mind. There's nothing that you have to achieve when you're meditating. There is not a right way to meditate. It's mostly about the intention you have going into it. So it's just such a great way to really relieve some negative emotions you may be experiencing, but also help you tap into more like divine, infinite, abundant type feelings as well. I feel like even if I'm not focused on those feelings when I'm done meditating, I feel just so much more light and abundant and joyful, which is exactly what we're trying to achieve with this tip that we're offering.
Yes, absolutely. And you never know if you're looking for an answer, and maybe that's kind of what you're feeling contrast around. Source will give you an answer if you're listening. So meditation is a wonderful way to receive those answers. Tip number 3 is breathing exercises. Now, you can use any of the tips we're giving you to reprogram your mind, because if you use your anxiety or any type of negative emotion as a trigger to recognize, okay, I'm not in alignment, and instead of allowing this thought pattern to play out, like maybe you're overthinking about something or someone or something like that, right? Instead of allowing yourself to just sit in that negative thought pattern, you're going to actually take physical action to stop the thought pattern, rewire your brain to do something that you value, so that you're teaching yourself to habitually value something. And you can't just do it once. You got to do it habitually, like consistently. Every time those emotions come up, choose one of these things to do, or something that makes you feel good, something that makes you feel aligned. And you will reprogram your brain to start doing things that you value. It's so important. But this one is breathing methods. Now, if you have anxiety, this is amazing, game changing. There are so many. You can look them up. You can use them to release trauma. You can use them in the moment to get rid of anxiety, whatever. We're going to do a short breathing method right here, right now, just so that you have one in your pocket and you're ready to go. What you're going to do is you're going to take your ring finger and your thumb. It feels a little awkward, but bear with me. Okay. Gonna breathe all the way out. Plug one side with your thumb, and then breathe in all the way. Hold at the top. Switch sides and plug the other side with your ring finger. Breathe all the way out. And breathe all the way back in the same side. Hold at the top and switch. Breathe all the way out. Breathe all the way back in. Hold at the top and switch. Now, if you want to continue doing this, you can pause the video and keep that up. And also, if you have a stuffy nose, I know it sounds gross, but this is actually a great way to clear that and to just even out your breathing patterns, slow down your breathing, and you will notice just doing that for 1 or 2 minutes that you will feel 1,000 times more calm. Like, it immediately calms your body. So if you are having anxiety about anything, do that. It's so easy. It's so simple. You don't need anything. I'm sure you can remember how to do it. It is a game changer.
Mm-hmm. Yes, breathwork has been life-changing for me, and I feel like how a lot of people feel about meditation, like it's not for them or they feel resistance to it. I've always kind of felt that towards breathwork, and I don't know why, I guess, but once I started implementing it into my practice, like I feel like that has really changed the game for me in terms of letting go of some of this anxiety that I've held on to. And, you know, if I'm having a really anxious day, it really helps to let that go and bring presence. And it's almost like it basically like clears your mind. I feel like you just feel okay afterwards, like you're not worried anymore, and it just totally interrupts those thought patterns. One of my favorite breathwork practices is actually lion's breath, and this can be helpful, I think, when you feel like you have a lot on your shoulders and you just want to like let it out. It can also be helpful, I think, if you're like kind of angry, because I think that it can be a powerful way to like really release some of that anger. So I highly recommend looking up lion's breath. I incorporate it in a lot of my yoga practices because it's just so good. And I feel like it gets you out of your comfort zone a little bit, because it's a little awkward because you have to like stick your tongue out and breathe out really hard. And obviously if you're alone, it's not as weird, but if you're in a room with other, in a yoga class with other people, like you might feel a little weird about it. But I love that about it. I think that makes it even better.
Yes, I 100% agree. I actually do lion's breath all the time. I have asthma, you see. And so often in the morning, I will go outside and just do lion's breath to just kind of clear the old stagnant air out of the bottom of my lungs and just breathe in fresh air. And it has helped significantly with asthma. A lot of people don't realize that with asthma, you can start to heal it yourself if you are practicing breath work. It's really cool, and it's such an easy one to do. But yes, it can feel awkward, which I think is good because it expands you.
As a general tip, I don't think this is like included in our tips, but interrupting your routine can help wonders, with manifestation, with life, with change, with so many different things, because you're changing your thought patterns. Nothing is going to change if you don't change. So once you start making little interruptions in your day that change things up, it's a snowball effect. So something as little as like doing a little breathwork practice that makes you uncomfortable, you can then maybe, once you kind of master that and feel comfortable doing that, you'll do something else that's a little bit even bigger and scarier that intimidates you. Like it's just like a snowball effect, honestly.
100%.
So next, our tip number 4 is to go outside. Going outside is so healing in so many different ways. I literally just made a TikTok, and it was like, if you're feeling any type of way, stressed, anxious, nervous, whatever, go outside, and nature can heal you. If you're sick, go outside and clear your airways, breathe in fresh air, like clean out the stagnant energy that is in your body. If you are feeling burnt out, like go outside and walk on the grass barefoot and ground yourself and connect yourself back with nature. And you get more of a sense of being one with that around you. If you are anxious, like go swimming and let the natural waters cleanse you. Like nature has an answer for everything.
Absolutely. This morning, I decided to do yoga outside, and it was sprinkling when I went out there. And I was like, you know what? I don't care. It's hot out, and rain is so very cleansing. And as I practiced, my mat got slippery. And I was like, well, I'll just do it on the deck, because I can hold myself. My deck is wood. And I started to get a little dirty, and I started to get soaking wet because it started to rain really hard. And I thought to myself, normal people would go inside. But I changed my perspective, and I started to really enjoy it. And then when I got to Shavasana, which is just a relaxation pose where you're just kind of laying and meditating quietly with your eyes closed, I felt so many raindrops dropping on me at different points in my body. And I thought, you really have to let go. You really have to let go of control and really relax and allow this to just happen in order to actually stay relaxed in the rain outside with your eyes closed. And I don't know, it was just such a good practice. I love nature so much. And I often find, like, in the wintertime when it's super cold here and we can't go outside a lot, I mean, we could, but it kind of hurts. I'll start to feel down, start to feel stuck. And then I go outside and I'm like, wow, I'm a whole different person. Like, just take a walk outside, and nature will remind you how to renew, and it will remind you of the infinite abundance that is here for you. It is my favorite way to practice abundance, is to just go outside and recognize it.
Absolutely. Me too. I think that is a great way. If you're feeling lack, like if you're stressed about money or worried about losing your job or something like that, going out in nature can help with that as well. It doesn't have just physical benefits. It it is a reminder of the infinite abundance. And I think that it also brings you back into the present moment so that you're letting go of some of those worries and you're making space for unexpected opportunities to come in. Because if you're not so focused on the worries of the future, you make space for other things that are not aligned with those worries to come in. So I find a lot of times if I am out in nature, I've said it a few times on the podcast, like that is when I get a big order coming in for crystals, or that is when I get a message from someone that, wants to do this really amazing thing with me. Like it's just truly so magical and powerful. And this is another way that you can receive messages from the universe. So if you are looking for answers about something, you can go out in the universe and you might start to see synchronicities align for you. And you're like, wow, yes, that's so true. I need to follow this, or whatever it is.
Yes, love that. Yeah, I've been finding feathers everywhere, and if you Google will tell you what they mean. It's what I found out. So yeah, you never know, but absolutely love that. And obviously, if you're lucky enough to live by a body of water, going swimming can be so cleansing too. So absolutely, easiest way I think to get into alignment, just go outside.
And it's free.
Yeah, best part, it's free. Infinite abundance is free. Isn't that ironic?
Mm-hmm. So true.
Okay, our next tip number 5, is to do something creative. I definitely think this goes along with what we're saying when we're saying, get out of your regular habitual behavior, because doing that, like seeking discomfort, will help expand you. It will help change your thought process. It will be much easier to come up with new ideas if you're doing something different. And I find sometimes people are reluctant to do things like paint or draw or dance or, anything creative like that, because they're like, well, I'm not creative. Listen, the imagination is the seat of creation, and your only limits are your imagination. And your imagination is one of your higher faculties that helps you create. And everything that exists had to exist in the mind of somebody before it existed in physical reality. Do not pinch yourself off. Do not hold yourself back. Create. Allow yourself to create. Do something that sounds exciting. I don't care what it is. I don't care if you've never done it before. Just give it a try and just let yourself do it and just see what happens, because it can be so therapeutic and so magical. I mean, I'm a makeup artist, and people will often be like, oh, you do your makeup every day? And I'm like, well, most days I do. And it's not because I'm reliant on it. It's not because I don't love myself without makeup on. It's because I love to paint. It's because it's therapy for me. And, I will actually paint all the time. Well, not all the time, but when I have time, when I feel like it, because it's fun. I'm not great at it. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I'm just letting myself create because it's fun and because I want to expand my mind and I want to allow my imagination to create.
Mm-hmm. That's so beautifully said. And I feel like when you're being creative, you're creating space for the universe to speak through you. And it can also be a great way of self-expression. So if you're feeling heavy emotions, it can be a great way to get that out somewhere so that you're not holding it in your heart or in your body. You're getting it out on, this painting or whatever it is. It's being expressed instead of repressed. And I think that is so important. And I think that when you're being creative, you are, creating different neural pathways so that you are changing your brain. You're changing how you're wired. And it's just it's therapeutic. It's magical. It is exciting and fun and expressive. It's just so important to do something creative. And we are, in fact, here to create. So we're all creators. We're the creators of our own reality. So
yes, period. Exactly. Mic drop.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So you are more knowledgeable in this topic than me. Our next tip is to do EFT and to tap your affirmations.
Yes. So I was officially trained and like certified in EFT, emotional freedom tapping. But the longer I've practiced it, the more I've seen people do it different ways. So I don't really think you can do this wrong per se. But when I practice with my clients, we will find whatever limiting belief or subconscious belief that they're holding on to that they'd like to clear and change and let go of. And so when we first start tapping, we'll start on our foreheads, right? You just tap like this, and then you move to the high bone of your cheek, and then you move to the top of your lip, and then you move to the middle of your chin, and then you move to your collarbone, and then you move to the side of your ribs, and then you can do it on your wrist and then the top of your head. Okay, so we just tap, for a few seconds as we're saying affirmations as we go. Now, when I start with clients, if we are breaking a negative limiting belief, we will go into that belief, and we will go into, say that you feel unworthy. This is something that I think just about every human carries for some god-awful reason. We've been all taught this, right? And so we'll say, okay, I'm feeling unworthy. I'm feeling unworthy. I'm feeling unworthy because, and whatever comes up, okay? So I am feeling unworthy because I didn't get this job I wanted, okay? Okay, well, let's get into it. So how does this job make you worthy? Well, I'd make more money. Well, does money determine your worth as a human? Well, no. Okay. I feel unworthy. I feel unworthy because, and usually, if not always, eventually, we get to a point where it's something from childhood. It's something that's deep seated in you that hurts you, and it doesn't necessarily need to come from one circumstance, but it's, I feel unworthy because my mom or dad or whatever caretaker treated me like that, or they told me that I wasn't good enough to have this or that, or they believed that they would never have this. They believed that they were unworthy of having this. And so I've learned that I'm unworthy of having that from them. Okay. So we'll get into it quite deeply and we'll keep tapping on it, and we'll say, okay, I feel this in my body, and you'll tell me where you feel it. I feel it heavy in my heart. I feel it sinking in my stomach. I feel it wherever you feel it. I feel it in my neck. I feel tension, and okay, we'll sit with it for a second. What number is it? 1 through 10. How heavy is it? And then, okay, well, when your parent told you that you weren't worthy, were they coming from a place of alignment? Were they coming from an unconditional place? Well, would God tell you that you're unworthy? Well, no, God created you exactly, divinely, perfectly as you are. And so I'll break down the belief to a point where you, with your conscious mind, you recognize that this isn't true and it never was. And so then I say, okay, can you let it go? Can you release it? And hopefully you will say yes, right? Most of the time people say, okay, yeah, I can see logically this isn't true. It's not serving me. It never has been. I can let this go. I can let this go. Okay. So then we keep tapping. And okay, well, I am worthy. I am worthy. I am worthy. I am worthy. Deep breath. I'm worthy. In fact, I'm infinitely abundant. I'm divinely created. I am worthy as I am. I don't have to do or be or change or try anything because I was born worthy. And obviously it's much more effective when I'm actually doing a one-on-one session with you, and we can actually go into, what the feelings are and what the perfect affirmations are for you. But you do this every time this feeling comes up until it no longer comes up, and you recognize deep in your heart that you are worthy and that those beliefs were never true and that they're not serving you and they're not your beliefs anymore, and you just let that go permanently. Now, another way that I've seen a lot of people practice lately, and it's ironic because a lot of these people who are practicing it, they're highly successful. They got millions of dollars. They're young. They're doing great. I don't think they're certified in EFT, and I don't know, but they just basically say affirmations and tap. Okay. Money loves me. I am a money magnet. Thousands of dollars come to me every day. People want to throw their money at me. Unexpected money falls in my lap. and whatever. It doesn't have to be about money. It can be about anything. But you just say affirmations that really resonate with you, and you just tap on those different parts of your body. And I think what it does is, because you're taking that physical action, it will distract the mind a bit, and it will kind of allow you to relax into the receiving of the affirmation. So yeah, EFT is extremely effective. As simple and silly as it may seem, give it a shot. Tell me what happens.
I love that so much. You did such a good job at sharing that. So thank you for
Thank you.
sharing that knowledge with us. Tip number 7 is movement medicine. I can speak for both of us when I say that yoga has been life-changing for us. Obviously, your version of movement does not have to be yoga. It can be weight training, it can be Pilates, it can be hot girl walks, it can be literally anything, pickleball, like whatever feels good to you, what you enjoy doing, and that allows you to move your body. Yoga we love because it is an exercise really for your body, but your mind. I mean, it's not even technically it's not an exercise, but it really does move your body, and it is, I call my yoga practices magic through movement, because you are truly, it's magical is really the best way to describe it. Like, you can release the stress and anxiety from the day. You can tap into more of these abundant universal energies. You can release negative energies from your body, stagnant energies. It can help release some of these beliefs that you've had, but at a physical level, as opposed to, reframing your belief. You still store those emotions in your body, so it can really help release some of that. At a more simple level, it can help release endorphins. It can really just help you burn off stress from the day, or burn off, whatever it is that is bothering you. And I think it just really helps you feel good. At the end of the day, you don't sit down and go, wow, I'm so mad at myself for going for a walk today. That was terrible. Or like, wow, I did something nice for my body. That's horrible. Like, you don't do that. You are always just like proud of yourself once you have moved your body, and it feels good to take care of your body. And I think that really can help elevate your state of being. And oftentimes when you're working out or finding some sort of movement practice, you are not focused on your problems anymore. You are focused on the here now and getting through what, if you're doing something that may be more difficult for your body, you're focused on the next, the current step and how you're going to move your body to do the next thing. And you are not worried about your problems anymore. It's so good.
Yes. Check out episode number 2 if you are curious about yoga, you don't know where to start, or even if you have been practicing it for a while and you really love it. It's a great episode. Yoga really unites mind, body, and soul, and I think that's where the magic is. It helps ground you, and any exercise will help strengthen you both mentally and physically, which is amazing. It teaches you consistency and persistence and confidence. It builds your confidence like crazy. And obviously, yes, it does release your endorphins. It teaches you how to move with the breath. They say the breath is the seat of the soul, and the breath comes first. And if you are really having anxiety, this isn't in our list. Just breathe. The breath comes first. So yeah, I cannot stress that enough. Take care of your body. It feels good, and yoga, like she said, you could release emotions through it. And I find so many people, especially my age, been like, I'm so sore. And sometimes I'm one of them, but because I consistently take care of my body in that way, I don't feel sore nearly as much. Like I am able to heal and keep my body in like really healthy, good working condition. Maintenance.
Mm-hmm.
You need body maintenance. Take care of you. Which brings us on to our next tip, number 8, practice gratitude. This, I really think, can flip your mood like that. Like gratitude and or appreciation, sort of the same thing. But even just writing a list, like journaling, gratitude journaling, amazing. Journaling in general, that could be one of our tips on its own.
Mm-hmm.
But gratitude journaling, just write down, like, I'm so happy and grateful. And it can be something so small as that I'm alive,
Mm-hmm.
that I can take another breath, that I have a really cute dog, that I have a friend, that I have a family member, you know, that I have a roof over my head, whatever, anything. But the more that you practice that gratitude and appreciation, the more you will receive more to be appreciative for.
Mm-hmm. You are aligning yourself with that vibration, and gratitude is one of the highest vibrations that you can embody. And I think that it is just so important because it kind of it almost makes it not necessarily about yourself. Of course, you're saying things that you are grateful for, but you're recognizing that it's outside. You're just kind of recognizing that it is almost like an offering. Like, I'm so grateful for this experience or this or that. I'm so grateful for my bed. But you are recognizing that, like, I don't know how to finish my thought process on that. So
I think it's recognizing abundance versus lack. And it's so easy to get caught in a lack vibration. Like, oh, everything's so expensive. Oh, other people have more than me. Like, it's so easy to focus on lack. But the moment that you start to focus on abundance, you're flipping the sides of the stick. And you will find that once you're going in that direction, it's much easier to stay in that direction. Also, when you're recognizing, like, the irony in this, I don't have enough money, I want more money. Well, you're recognizing the lack. So what are you aligned with? What do you feel? You feel lack. You're aligned with lack. What are you going to attract? You're attracting lack. But then you recognize, wait, hold on, I just went outside and I realized that there's infinite abundance out there. Okay, all right, I'm so happy and grateful that I get to experience another day in physical reality. I am so happy and grateful for all that I have. I am so happy and grateful that I have this and that. And you can even, if you're like not feeling this, just start to name the crap in front of you. I'm so happy and grateful that I have a shirt on. Okay, but then you'll start to realize there is no limit to what you can be so happy and grateful for having. In fact, it is infinite abundance. And that will flip you so quickly in the right direction of things. That will get you into the infinite abundance vibe so quickly. You will be surprised. And it is probably the best freaking practice you can do. And of course, we're going to mention Russ as we do in every episode. We love you, Russ fan page. He has a song where he says, a heart full of gratitude is a magnet for miracles. And I think that could not be more true.
Russ could just be a tip. Like,
just listen to Russ.
No.
Listen to his interviews, his music, follow his pages.
Just Russ.
Please sponsor us.
I have gathered where I was going with what I was saying. It puts things in perspective. Like, it kind of, you kind of get a bird's eye view of your life, and you can see it differently when you focus on what you're grateful for. And of course, just practicing it once can be really helpful in the moment. But if you create like a routine of practicing gratitude, you'll learn that it kind of reprograms your thoughts in general. So you'll be walking and you'll be like, oh, I'm judging this person, judging that person, or, you know, thinking about how horrible this was. You'll realize that you're now thinking about more positive things in general, just in your day-to-day life. You'll be like, oh wow, look at her cute shoes, and oh my gosh, today was so good. You'll just, at least I found for myself, like, it has changed how I go about my daily life. Once I started practicing gratitude for what I have, I am just a happier person, and I notice more things to be grateful for, and I am just happier. Like, I'm truly just a happier person out in the world, and it's so good. And one of my favorite practices for gratitude, of course, you can journal, but when you can't sleep, a lot of times when you can't sleep, it's because you're stressed or nervous or something about the next day. Lay down, focus on your bed. Be like, I am so grateful for this comfy, cozy bed that I'm laying in. It's just so nice. This blanket is so fuzzy. I'm so grateful. I'm so cozy. My dogs are curled up next to me. I'm so grateful for, the air conditioning. I can sleep and cool, and then you just focusing on the present, like what you're grateful for. And then your mind will start to drift, and sooner or later you're asleep, and you are falling asleep in a very high vibrational state, and you're not like falling asleep to negative things going through your mind, because when you are about to fall asleep, your brain is very like permeable to the thoughts that you are having. And if you want to program yourself for miracles, like gratitude.
Yes, that's such a good tip. And yes, we have other episodes. One specifically that comes up is a nighttime routine, because your subconscious is so much more permeable right before you fall asleep and right when you wake up. That is a perfect time to practice that. I have also noticed what you mentioned, that when you start to focus on the good, right, it's so much easier to stay in that direction, that you will start to recognize and appreciate so many things in life. And when we're talking about like the judgment of other people, I notice a lot of people will pick out bad things about other people. I don't habitually do that anymore, because I intentionally appreciate. So I will see people and I'll be like, oh my God, you're so pretty. And I genuinely mean that. Oh my God, I love your shirt. I love your nails. I love your shoes. Like, you're so cool. I love your tattoos. Like, I love to appreciate. And what you give out, you will get back. So another tip that isn't on our list is leave people with there's actually a word that Bob Proctor taught me for this, and I forgot. The impression of increase. That's what it is. Leave people with the impression of increase. And so genuinely compliment and appreciate other people, and you will feel better just doing that.
Mm-hmm. Just along that train of thought, yes, it feels really good to be nice to other people and to compliment them and make them feel good about themselves. I have noticed in general, I do more of that now. I compliment other people and I put really good energy out there. I have never got more compliments in my life. I am like leaving the beach like all distressed, and like the other day this like 11-year-old girl with her dad was like, "Oh, I like your tattoos. They're so cute." And then I'll go like get a coffee, and someone's always giving me a compliment these days, and I'm like, wow, like I feel like that's so nice. It's so nice to have someone do that for you, but also the more that I do that, the more I'm like receiving that from other people, and it's fun. It's so fun to like go somewhere and get compliments. So a reminder of how good that feels. So allow yourself to give that to other people. Like, give them your
Spread high
your good
vibrations. Yes, do it. And we really hope that's what we're doing for you. We do genuinely appreciate each and every one of you so much. It means so much that you listen to this and you're here with us and you're raising the frequency. There's nothing more important that you could do.
So true.
Okay, our next official tip is self-care. This one is so important, especially these days. Our society is pretty fast-paced and high pressure, and it's easy to just sit on your phone and scroll. It's a little more challenging and a lot more rewarding to take a break from that, whether it be doing one of these things we've already mentioned, or taking a hot bath, cooking yourself a meal, making a cup of tea and reading a book, anything like that. Like, light a candle. We love to utilize tarot. We have an episode on tarot. I think it's like episode number 3. Just to just relax and, you know, receive messages that might help you, and just take care of yourself, because if you don't value yourself, nobody else is going to.
Mm-hmm.
You are the one who determines your value.
Yes.
You are the one who determines what you're attracting.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all about how you feel. So you have to take care of you.
Yes.
You're so important.
Yes. And how you treat yourself is a reflection like of how others are going to treat you. And that is a reflection of how you feel about yourself. So if you want to feel better, treat yourself better. Treat yourself how you want other people to treat you, you know, be in a relationship with yourself. Treat you like, you know, we always say, put yourself back up on the pedestal and treat yourself how you deserve to be treated. It really is. It's important. And kind of coming back to this concept of like, if you sit and scroll on TikTok for 3 hours, you regret it every single time. You never regret a night doing things that makes you feel good. So just putting that in perspective.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. And then our very last and final tip, I mean, we're full of them. We could keep going, but we're going to try to end this here, is to clean your spaces, yourself, cleanse and release what's no longer serving you. So this is something that I practice a lot, and I'll often use a cleansing wand at the end of the day, especially if it was a heavy day, especially if, you know, if I'm in a bad mood or whatever, any sort of like negative emotion or contrast that is coming up for me. I'm not trying to like ignore it, but it really helps to like cleanse that away. That can be done with a cleansing wand. Or you can also think of this in other ways, like when you're showering, you can imagine kind of the day being washed off of you and flowing down the drain. But then on the flip side of that, like keeping your space clean and cleaning your space, because your space is kind of a reflection of your mind. If it's really messy, it's dirty, like you're not taking care of it. Similar concept of not taking care of yourself. If you're not taking care of your space, you don't respect it, you don't have gratitude for it, you're treating it like not good. That's kind of the energy that you're surrounding yourself with. So I think it's really important to have a clean, happy environment that you can relax in. You don't feel stressed being in because it's dirty. And it just, yeah.
Yes. Also, if you are feeling stuck, like if you're feeling stagnant energy, look around your house, because I bet you something is reflecting that. Speaking from personal experience. And if you get rid of stuff that you're not using, stuff that doesn't make you happy anymore, you are moving that stagnant energy and making room for the new. Your reality is a reflection of your mind at all times.
Yep. So we'll try to end it there. You know, there's just so many different things. We'd love to hear what you guys do to turn things around, to invite more positivity into your day. So be sure to share that with us. We are so grateful for you guys and for this community. So thank you so much for listening. We're going to pull a card to finish off this episode, as we do every episode, just to kind of tap into this universal energy and see what the universe wants to share with us. So we're reading from the Wild Mystic Oracle card set, and I can't wait to see what it says.
That one flips over so perfectly. Oh.
Wow. Okay. So transform. If you are on YouTube or Spotify, you can see the video. I have the card up on the screen, and it reflects basically the life cycle of a butterfly and transforming. So it transforms through its life cycle. So I'm really excited for this message.
That could not have flipped more perfectly. I can't make this up. The card represents change and transition. Butterflies have long been associated with transformation due to their elegant transition from caterpillar to butterfly. This card may symbolize a physical transformation. However, the butterfly's association throughout myth and lore with the soul might indicate a deeper, more intrinsic change. Many cultures represent the butterfly as a vessel for a traveling soul. For good or ill omen, the presence of a butterfly in your reading may indicate a choice or transformation after a period of soul searching, and the rebirth of the soul with new purpose, form, or meaning. In the Sierra Madre Hills, Mexico, the migration of monarch butterflies has taken place around the time of Dia de los Muertos, the Day of the Dead. Since pre-Hispanic times, many people associate the butterflies with the souls of loved ones returning to families and friends for the celebrations. This card could be seen as a comfort to those who have lost someone. If you believe in afterlife or rebirth, it is a reminder that these loved ones continue. If you do not, it is a sign of their energy being released into the universe and passing into nature. Another way to feel better is to change your self perspective. We have a whole episode on this, but I feel like I do this on a regular basis. I completely transform. I will dye my hair or cut it or whatever, do something so I look very different physically. I'll do my makeup differently, I'll dress differently, and it will take on different traits, and I freaking love doing that, and I highly recommend it. Shadow reading. When dealing with themes of rebirth and metamorphosis, remember that something must end so that something new may take its place. Caterpillars must destroy themselves, dissolving to become the beautiful winged creatures we know. The destruction before a transformation may be difficult and change can fill one's heart with fear. But this card reminds you that the destination is worth the journey. That's so good. Element, air. Flora, protea flower, straw flower, and peppermint. Stones, carrite, malachite, and opal. Spellwork, manifesting change, aiding a transition, new job, moving on from a relationship, spring rites, and Beltane ritual. That's my birthday.
That's such a lovely message. It's beautiful. If you want to expand on that train of thought a little more, listen to 2 episodes back. We talk a lot about like making decisions, and it can be helpful if you're going through a transition or potentially, kind of coming up onto the making a decision for a big change. So make sure to check that episode out if you haven't already. And again, I just want to express gratitude to you guys. We're just so happy and grateful for you and for this magical community. And yeah,
let us know what you'd like to hear more of, and we can't wait to see you in the next episode. Thank you so much. Love you.
Bye.
Bye.